As Diamant is about to deal the finishing blow again, the sassy little child appears once more and intervenes, to introduce the Fell Dragon who noms Hyacinth as thanks for aiding his resurrection. The sassy little child relishes in the betrayal, and an indignant Hortensia shoves them, revealing Vale under the hood, who counters with dark magic. We observe Vale's legs to find this is the same one we've known up to this point, and she reintroduces herself as the Fell Princess, Sombron's daughter. Alir questions this deception, and Vale, a little confused, confidently declares we've never spoken before, confusing Alir even more. Our attention is then redirected to some funky Pillarmen sounding music, and we see a group of the Fell Dragon's servants walking towards us, consisting of Hot Dragon Lady, Gothic Edge, Marionette, and Normal Dude. Collectively, they're called the Four Hounds, but Alir is having none of it and our group attempt to Emblem engage our way through. However, the Hounds were a distraction and Vale used that opportunity to swipe the Draconic Time Crystal, use its power to open a new timeline and steal all of the Emblem rings in our possession. She then gives those rings to Sombron, who uses the talk action to convert the emblems we've met so far into red units. And as a side note, they look pretty good in red, especially Celica. At this point, Alir is absolutely enraged, but the odds are now stacked against us, and it's time to flee into Chapter 11, where we're chased by Vale, who is level 25 and has 3 revival stones, into a foresty ravine, and she gives a few of the corrupted the emblem rings she collected from us. Despite the urgency, we're allowed to prepare, but we're locked into the units we've used in the previous chapter. I give everyone that used to have an emblem ring a bond ring, replenish their inventories, and finally make use of my master seals by promoting Citrine into a sage so I can have another staff user, and Alfred into an Avenir to bump his strength a bit. Everyone is put into position and we start the map with the goal of ensuring Alir makes it to the escape point, all the way at the very bottom of the map. On turn 1 our immediate threats are the corrupted with Roy, who's just a big stat stick, and another one with a freeze staff that is augmented by Micaiah's extra staff range and splash effect. To start, Yunaka poisons the Roy corrupted, who is then subsequently burned, pierced and shocked by Citrine, Alchrist and Clan, with the latter reaching level 10. Alir tries to take back Roy, but Vale crushes that small bit of hope and whisks the ring away. The next threat along is a corrupted with Celica and the Dark Warp skill. I'm undeterred by the amount of damage it deals and I have everyone else push forward, with Alir and Louis using a Pure Water and Jean obstructing a tile as an attempt to impede the progress of the giant creatures. A few enemies move towards us and the corrupted with Celica blasts Diamant with Dark Warp. The corrupted with Micaiah freezes Clan, and by extension Citrine and Chloe. Vale then ends their turn by bestowing Roy upon another corrupted. In turn 2 we now have corrupted with Marth, Sigurd, Leaf and Celica breathing down our necks. Thankfully only Celica has their engage attack, so the other enemies only benefit from the stat boosts and a portion of their abilities. Alchrist starts this turn by one-shotting the corrupted with Marth. Jean restores Citrine so she can move and attempt to freeze the enemy with Sigurd, though she unfortunately misses, potentially making her in line as the first permanent casualty. Alir moves to eliminate the corrupted with Celica. Alfred crits an archer. I have Diamant protect Clan and use a vulnerary, while Yunaka and Louis make a heavy dent on the enemy with Leaf. Just in case, I end the turn by having Clan take the free staff from Citrine, so we don't lose such a valuable tool. Corrupted with Leaf breaks Alir. Citrine lives another turn as the enemy with Sigurd chooses to break Diamant. Mercifully, we aren't hit with the free staff again, and Vale places Marth and Celica onto different corrupted. Turn 3. Clan Hellfires and eliminates the corrupted with Leaf. Citrine takes the free staff back from Clan and heals him. Then I have Jean take the free staff from Citrine, who immediately uses it to successfully freeze the corrupted with Sigurd, leveling up to level 13. With the backline safe for the time being, everyone else pushes onward. On the enemy phase, Louis is struck first, and Alir defeats his attacker with a crit, leveling up to level 12. The enemies behind us keep chasing, then Leaf and Marth are bestowed upon new corrupted. Turn 4. Yunaka, Alchrist and Clan eliminate the corrupted that attacked Louis. Louis moves down and heals with the vulnerary. Citrine makes her way to Alir to heal him, while Alir himself hides in the wood tile. I have Chloe break the only corrupted in her range, thinking I could just retreat her after, forgetting that she doesn't have Sigurd anymore. So I send Alfred to try and crit the enemy Chloe attacked, and only dishes a normal hit, leaving Chloe to the whims of the enemy hit rates. Diamant moves down and I have Jean rewarp to Alir's side. The enemy phase begins and Chloe fails to dodge the first attack, and despite the marginally better chances on her second attacker, Chloe sadly meets her end for this playthrough.
Dear. I always knew that not every fairy tale has a happy ending.
The corrupted behind us continue chasing, freezing Alchrist along the way, and Vale sends in the 4 hounds, transferring some of the emblem rings to them. Enemy reinforcements appear from our escape point, and in this moment of despair we get reinforcements of our own in the form of Princess Ivy and her retainers, who are vastly superior to our units. They've managed to swipe both the rings of the Lady of the Plains and the Princess Exalt, and Alir awakens both. Ivy is entrusted with Lyn, while Alir takes Lucina. And finally, Zelkov accidentally rubs salt in the wound, revealing they stole the Draconic Time Crystal a turn too late. And so we enter turn 5 with a weird mix of vigor and loss. Citrine engulfs an Armonite with Elserd, while Zelkov eliminates the next corrupted along. Louis moves to the woods on the left to start shaking down the corrupted in there. Diamant stands firm and covers the rear of our retreat. Then I have Yunaka and Clan move down, while Alfred tries to damage the corrupted Chi Adept to our right. Kagetsu moves down to start baiting the enemies near the exit, and I have Alir Emblem engaged to use one of Lucina's skills, Bonded Shield, to block some attacks for Kagetsu, and likewise Jean uses Chain Guard for Alfred. The turn ends when Ivy engages and uses Call Doubles. The corrupted beasts start slowly advancing, and Louis continues his 2-range battle. Alfred is defended by Jean but is struck with thunder straight after. Alir blocks a hit for Kagetsu, then Alchrist is struck by one of our pursuers, and finally the remaining hounds stay hot on our tail. Turn 6, Louis finishes his side quest and receives the Tomahawk reward. An unfrozen Alchrist flees as far as he can, and uses a vulnerary. Kagetsu continues to be our vanguard and strikes at one of the nearby corrupted lancers, and is followed up by Clan and Alfred, while Alir takes on the other one. Ivy unleashes Astra Storm on the archer that's blocking one of the escape tiles, and then everyone else gathers up with the main body of our group, except for Zelkov, who I have moved to the back to take some of the heat off of Alchrist. Our 3 frontline units make good use of the woods, with Alir eliminating one enemy, Kagetsu dodge tanking the foes on his side, and Alfred acting as a lightning rod. One of the corrupted Pegasus Knights finally reach us, who attack at Louis with their Armor Slayer. Alchrist dodges the cavalry that's been fixated on him since the previous enemy phase, and the rest of the enemies nearly catch up to our group. Turn 7, Zephyr has a lot of our rear in her sights, so I get Alchrist the heck away from her attack range and shoot a corrupted that's next to Kagetsu, which is then taken out by Citrine. Diamant moves down to hit the Chi Adept Alfred missed a few turns ago. Ivy moves all the way to the left and severely weakens a corrupted thief that's then finished off by Clan. Louis disengages with their attacker, and Jean shows off the fruits of his training by successfully one-rounding an enemy on their own. Alir is just one tile too far from escaping, so I have him open one of the escape tiles for the next turn, while Yunaka and Kagetsu start making a dent on the other tile for a bit more EXP. Zelkov covers Louis from the armor-slaying flyer, and the turn ends once Alfred finishes what he started on the right side. Kagetsu further weakens the corrupted he and Yunaka have been slashing and takes Fireball to the face. Alchrist aggroes the armor-slaying flyer, then a surprise cavalry rushes in and ends Citrine.
Oh, I'm in trouble. I have many regrets, but as long as the others are safe, then I'm
I could have switched to another timeline now, but it didn't feel right to be receiving the Draconic Time Crystal back in the middle of this chapter, so I chose to live with this second permanent death. So on turn 8 I have everyone leech a bit more EXP, before ending the map with the Lear's Retreat.